Hi folks, so for those of you that gave me good feedback on the Siri video, thanks for sharing that. I'm hoping to post a follow-up video on that shortly, but for this video I'm going to show an integration with GroupMe. GroupMe is a group messaging service that basically allows you to have multiple people be a member of their service in a group and send text messages throughout the group. So the big benefit there is I can send a message to the group and that message will be delivered to everyone in the group, whether they're on a smartphone using the app or whether they're on a feature phone. Now for this demo, I've got my phone here. I'm actually running the app, so you can see I'll be using the actual GroupMe app interface. And then I've got my wife's phone here. This one is set up basically as a feature phone, so I'm not running the app. It's just going to be getting text messages. So instead of this being an iPhone 4, just imagine it's like a flip phone. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is just come in and I'm going to open my Fruition FS group here. This is basically a field services group for the context of the demo. So just imagine there's multiple people in this group who are traveling from site to site, and they need to be able to collaborate with one another while they're on the road to kind of figure out who's working on what. So I'm going to come into my group. It's just a default ServiceNow group. This isn't a special custom table or anything. I've just added a UI action here that allows me to take this group in ServiceNow and push it up and create it as a group in GroupMe. So if I come to GroupMe here, I'm going to refresh. You can see I've got my Fruition Field Services group now. Nobody's posted anything yet. Just real quick, I'm going to add my wife to the group so that I've got another phone. And in just a moment, I'll get a text message on my wife's phone telling me that I've been added to the group. And we'll cut back to that in a second. So the text messaging service is a little bit slower than if you're using the native app, obviously because it has to go through text messaging on the carrier. So you can see I've got my notification of this text message. So I'll just open that up, and here you can see you've been added to Fruition FS with Chad.Whaley on GroupMe. So I'll tilt it up a little bit, there's a little glare. So here I'll just reply in the group. Oh, if I can type sideways. There we go, thank you autocorrect. So I'll just send that text message, and then if I come back, I'll see in the GroupMe interface on the web, I see that message, and if I come back to my phone using the app, I've got my Fruition Field Services and I can see Jen's in the group. So I can reply from my phone, and again you'll see it on the other phone, and it just kind of pushes to everything. So now that I've got that group, now I can basically have ServiceNow behave as if it's a member of that group. Now I've added a custom alert section here where I can put in some rules. So those of you that are admins and familiar with the way email notifications work and email conditions, you'll be very familiar with this structure. Basically, here's an example of one. This is a new incident notification. It's going to look to see when the incident state is being modified, and if the incident state is new, it's going to assume it's a new ticket, or at very least new in the process, and it's going to send a notification out to the members of the group. Now if the group that the ticket's assigned to doesn't have a GroupMe account associated with it, it obviously wouldn't send this notification, but for this example, when I do the demo, you'll see it gets sent out. Now the message structure does follow the standard email notification format. So you can see I've got $bracket number bracket or curly bracket to supplement the number, assignment group, and location. Now I am doing something special with location, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But let's go send a ticket. Go to my incidents. I'm going to create a new incident. Now I've got a template here that I created just for the purposes of the demo. And I'm going to pick our Fruition Partners headquarters in Chicago for the location. So I'm going to save this. And you'll see it was almost instantaneous. So the GroupMe message, I got it. Now a couple things going on here. I got a message from the ServiceNow overlord, Snoverlord, telling me a new incident was created. You know, basically replaced the assignment group. You saw the way the notification was formatted. Now the neat thing that I did with the location is I used another web service API that I'm going to do a demo on, or a video on later, to actually replace, to actually send the latitude and longitude coordinates to GroupMe. So it actually sent the map, and I can click through that, and I can go all the way through, open it in Maps, and get directions. So you can really, if you're on a smartphone, you can really get the the end-to-end benefits of all of this capability by sending that information. So again, obviously on a feature phone, I'm going to get the text message telling me that I've got the the ticket assigned to my group. You are going to get that separate text message with basically the shortened URL to the map. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see it will open up in the browser. But if you're on a feature phone, you're probably not going to be able to use this particular feature. But it is, again, it is nice if you're not using the app and you're still on a smartphone, you can still get some of that capability. Okay. So I'm just going to reply really quick. So I'm going to come in and I'll just say, I got this, and that'll post back. My other phone here will get that notification in a second, but I also added one little piece. I kind of keyed off the way, you can see there's that update, kind of keyed off the way email notification can receive updates. This isn't really necessarily applicable to a smartphone because it's kind of kludgy, but it's just a proof of concept here. So I'm going to just type in int 0000694. And I'm going to paste in something I already had on here. So if you can see the format here, I've got ticket number, pipe, set assigned to equals C.Whaley, pipe, set incident state equal to, and I'm just going to send that. And now when ServiceNow gets that message, it's going to take that, kind of rip it apart, and then reassign the ticket, or assign the ticket to me. You can see my wife just got that same message on her phone. And then let me refresh here. You can see now the incident, the state's active, and the ticket's assigned to me. So you can actually do some interaction with the incident directly through the GroupMe interface. Again, it's a lot of typing. It's kind of hard to do on a smartphone, with the keypad. But it's really just proof of concept. There's probably more things we can do with this, using some shortcuts, that type of thing, to make it a little bit more intuitive, a little more smartphone friendly. Right? Now, the interesting thing here is, what happens with all these messages? How can I see these conversations happening in ServiceNow? This particular set of conversations are happening within the context of the group, not within the context of that particular incident. So if I come to the group, I've got my GroupMe messages here, and I can see, we've got the group message where I added my wife. She joined the group. I replied, I got this. I replied to assign the ticket. So you can see these messages kind of being logged here. So that's the field services example. So you can see there's some benefit there. If I'm going to one facility, my wife's at another facility, not sure where each other are, and we get a new ticket, we can immediately determine, okay, who's closer. We can just reply to that same message, have it logged in the ticket on who's going to pick it up, that type of thing. Very collaborative, very quick, really easy way of talking to one another amongst your group and keeping the ticket up to date at the same time. The other component of the demo is a little bit different use case. So this use case is more of a major incident type scenario. So I'm going to create another ticket. I'm going to use a different template. So this particular one, basically I'm creating it as priority 1. So it's a high priority ticket. Bond trading is down, the classic bond trading example. I'm going to save that. Now this ticket isn't, there we go. This ticket isn't tied to GroupMe itself, but because it's still tied to my Fruition group, I'm getting those Fruition notifications for that field services team. But let's say I wanted to communicate not just amongst my assignment group team, but because it's a major incident, I wanted to be able to communicate with my clients in the outside world, or let people subscribe to updates on the incident itself. So the incident actually has a UI action that I added called Collaborate with GroupMe. So I'm going to click on that. And now what that's actually going to do, if I go back to GroupMe, is it's going to create a group in GroupMe for that particular incident. So again, kind of same process. For the demo, I'm just going to add my wife. And she'll get that message in a second. Now, there we go. So now that I got the incident, my wife is now a member of the group for the incident, so I'll just reply. I'll just say watching this ticket. So that's going to get posted, and you'll see my phone got the update. So this is very quick updates between. There's not a huge amount of lag time. So what I'm going to do is come into the incident, and now I'm going to post, an update. So this would be a client-facing update. So people who are getting the additional comments notifications through email would also get this particular GroupMe notification if they're a member of the GroupMe group. I'll just say bond trading will be up in approximately 10 minutes. So I'll just hit save there. And you'll see that's going to get posted. So if I come back here, you'll see the group gets the message, it'll be up in 10 minutes. My phone got it through the app, and my wife's phone got it through SMS. And just so those of you that may not be smartphone savvy, that my wife's getting buzzed and alerts. The smartphone's getting them too. We've got notifications that are being sent. They're kind of popping up at the top, but it's not buzzing my phone like it does if I get a text message. But I do get alerts through the app as well. Now, just like with the group, I'm getting messages logged in here as well. So you can see we got bond trading will be up in 10 minutes. So all of the activity is being logged at the incident level because this one is for the ticket, whereas the other one is for the group. So that's the GroupMe interface. Had a lot of fun building it. A couple caveats. The GroupMe API that I'm using, it's fairly new, so they are missing some functionality like being able to destroy objects. So deleting a group, retiring a group, removing users from groups, that type of thing isn't necessarily available in the API yet. So doing something like this in an enterprise means you would have to still have some process for managing the groups through the GroupMe interface if you wanted to disband groups. So if I wanted to say, disband this incident group, I would need to come do that through the interface in GroupMe rather than do it through ServiceNow. Once they add those capabilities through the API, it'd be very, very easy to add that into ServiceNow. And you can see when I disbanded that group, you're going to get alerts to kind of tell you the group's been disbanded and you're no longer going to get notifications on there. So the major incident ones, that's a very important piece because you wouldn't want those to live forever. The group ones, those would be a little more persistent, so not as much of a concern. So that's it. As usual, I'm happy to hear any comments or feedback on the video. I do have a new Twitter handle that I've created to kind of post these types of things and post just general ServiceNow tips. So if you'd like to stay up to date on things that I'm working on, feel free to follow me on Twitter. It's Chad.Whaley FP. You can see all that in the comments or in the description of the video as well. And as always, check out the Fruition Partners website if you're curious about who Fruition Partners are and what we might be able to do for your organization. Thanks for watching.